Raised by a paranoid father, our founder has been taught to fend for herself and trust no one. After running away from a dark event in her past, we now live in almost complete isolation. Nature is our family and our protector, and our bite is worse than our bark. We swear that we need nothing and nobody but ourselves for the rest of our life. This is where our story starts. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. We're here today with a brand new Sims 4 Let's Play and I am so excited. This is the Poison Garden Legacy. This is a 10 generational challenge which was created by Rose Supposes Many Things. I will link her Tumblr and her YouTube down below, as well as a copy of the legacy rules, just so you can check them all out. And this legacy gives me not so berry vibes. So each generation is based on a different poisonous plant. So generation 1 is Aconite, which is what we're playing. And every generation has, their own color scheme and things that are associated with that plant. And they all have their own traits, skills, aspirations, and living situations. And they all have a little sort of synopsis before each generation that kind of explains why they are living the way that they are. And I just think it's a really fun challenge. I will also link another creator down below. Her name is Frolicking Gnomes, I think, and I highly recommend you check out her channel because if her video didn't pop up in my YouTube recommended, I would never have heard about this challenge and I wouldn't get to play it. So, go show her some love as well. But as you will have seen from the introduction, our founder here, Luna Noxious, she was raised in Strangerville and has had a very unconventional upbringing. She was raised by someone who was incredibly paranoid, who has dealt with some very heavy things in life, and they have let that shape their personality and sort of shape the way that they treat others. So Luna has grown up in this very sort of sheltered household. She was taught from a very young age to keep herself to herself and not trust anyone. However, something happened and she has had to flee. She has had to leave Strangerville, leave everything and everyone she's ever known and cared about, and start a new life in Henford-On-Bagley. As we go through the challenge, we will uncover her backstory more and we will see why she's here. But for now, we just know she's had to flee. So, with her having to flee and with her situation being dangerous, Luna has a couple of rules that she has to follow. One, she cannot make friends with anybody in Henford. She can't socialise with anyone, she can't develop any romantic interests, she can't do anything. If people persistently try and talk to her, she will do whatever she can to maintain her peace and to keep herself safe. The only exception to this is she can talk to Sims in other worlds. So the aspiration that Luna has to complete is Outdoor Enthusiast. That is the herbalism aspiration that comes with Outdoor Retreat. So we will be going to Granite Falls a lot, and in Granite Falls she can socialise with Sims there. However, she still has to be smart about things. Although she's less likely to be spotted in Granite Falls and people are less likely to know who she is, she still can't go talking to people left, right and centre. So in terms of what the generation specifics, the colours for generation 1, which is Aconite, I'm not sure if I mentioned that, but Aconite I think is a member of the Wolfsbane family. I'm not big on plants, so please correct me as we go through it. But the colours for this generation is pale green and deep blue. So we have reflected that not only in her clothing, but also in her skin and her hair. I am going to be trying out a berry save in The Sims 4 for the first time, and I am very excited about that. So we had 2 traits that we had to pick. loner and loves the outdoors, which I have done. And I have also given Luna the freegan trait, just because I felt that, you know, dumpster diving and, you know, living within our means and from other people's trash and things, I felt that fit really well into this style of gameplay. So that's the trait I picked for her. In terms of her house, we have to live in a micro home. So this is very much a rags to riches generation. I have decided to kind of ignore the rules here a little bit. There is a list of things you could buy for your Sims with their starting funds, but I decided not to do that. Instead, I have just built the shell of the house. So we've got the 32 tiles. Here we have our main cabin. I'll just pop the walls up. We have our main cabin, and then we have a little outhouse here. But I want to furnish these as we go. And then over here, I do just have our sort of garden patch. And we do have room for the chicken coop and maybe an animal shed and things as we go through. And the place is all kind of hidden with trees and hedges, and we are very secluded up here on the hill. So this lot was originally Cordelia's secret cottage, but I've just bulldozed it and, you know, we've put our cottage here. So the lot traits I have private dwelling, just so we can avoid people coming to our house. I also have the off-the-grid lot challenge, simple living, so we have to have all food ingredients before we can make a meal. And I also have the fox one, I think, just so foxes are more likely to spawn on this lot. As well as completing her aspiration, the herbalism skill, and, you know, living with these challenges and everything, there are also extras that you can do per generation. So we have to grow a death flower, which gets passed along to, you know, each generation heir, which I think that sounds really fun. So I'm also going to do that. We also need to learn every canning recipe in cottage living, which I might do, I might not, it depends. And then we also need to have an evil chicken, which I've not had an evil chicken before, so I might also do that. I definitely want to do the death flower optional extra though. Another extra that I am going to do myself that is not in the rules is I'm also going to have her complete a second aspiration. So the outdoor enthusiast, which is the main one that we have to complete, that is tied to Granite Falls. Whereas I want her to also have one she can work on in Henford. So I'm thinking I will either do fishing or gardening here. I'm not entirely sure. I don't really want to do the aspiration that came with cottage living, just because I am working on that in like my own sort of personal save. And I know you have to place in the Finchwick Fair in that. And I don't really think that's going to work for us, since we have to avoid social interactions within this world. But that is enough of an introduction. I apologise, I've tried to keep this short. Now we have all that out of the way, let's just jump straight into it. The first thing I want to do is I do want to change her aspiration just while we are in Henford. So we could either do freelance botanist, which is gardening, or we could do angling ace, which is fishing. And so, oh, curator could also be good. I probably won't finish curator, but I think curator could be good for us just now, because I would quite like her to find some things, because we need money. We need money. I feel like another good way to make money would be by befriending these birds. We can get gifts from them, and they might give us some like rare produce or like craftables or milk. We have some blueberries we can harvest, which is good because we can get them planted. Though I am seeing a distinct lack of collectibles. I think what I might actually do is I'm going to change her aspiration over to angling ace, just so I can get her to fish instead. because I'm not really seeing anything we can dig or pick other than those blueberries. So, you know. We have acquired the gardening skill. Luna's new skill in gardening will allow her to plant, water, weed, and harvest. Perfect. Okay, we can dig up this. And then I want to speak to this bunny. Let's ask about his pointy tea. Pet him if he'll let us. Tell joke about hip hop. I hope we get something good. Limestone. I think we can extract things from limestone. Yeah, extract the fossil. So we have got a prehistoric hoof print. Worth 40. I mean, that's something. While Luna was getting to know the wild rabbit, she heard rumblings of a voice from behind the plants. So having a little peek round, sitting by the lake was this Sim. Now, we need to get out of here. It is time to skedaddle. Let's see what frog we can find. Hopefully it's going to be a good one so we can breed it. How much is he worth? 10. Wow, that's literally not worth my time. Cool. There is a lot of people out and about. I don't know if it's because it's summer, I don't know if it's because it's a Sunday, but Luna was feeling uncomfortable. She was really nervous seeing, you know, goggles of people swarming around the grills and things. So she's decided just to come up to the fishing hole near her house and work on her angling. And she's doing pretty well. We are getting pretty hungry, but we don't have any money, so we can't actually grill any food yet. And the only thing we have on us are some blueberries, or a blueberry. I have also kind of imposed the rule that we're not allowed to sell things through our inventory. I feel like that's just going to add an extra bit of challenge into this. Like, we're going to have to sell things at the stalls in town or through like the buying and selling table. Now that comes with its own issues because obviously Luna has to stay away from people. She doesn't want to be around them. She doesn't trust them. So we're only going to sell one day a week. And I'm thinking normally I would make Sunday like our selling day, but we don't really have much to sell yet. So we might have to do a couple of selling days this first week just to get us into the swing of things. But we do need to try and sell some stuff tonight just so we can eat. So I'm going to get her to stop doing this, and then we are going to go into the town centre and hopefully the stalls are still going to be open.
A few moments later.
We have left it too late. The grocery stall and the garden stall are both closed. We're going to have to see if there's anything around here that we can maybe forage. Wow. Okay. I wonder if we can grill fish. Oh dear. I wasn't keeping an eye on the time. I guess we'll just have to kind of hang around and hope that somebody else grills. And see if we can steal some of that, because otherwise we're not going to be able to eat tonight. So since we have missed our selling day of Sunday, definitely I want to sell some produce tomorrow, because again, we have nothing. While I am patiently waiting for somebody to grill, we are making very good progress in the angling aspiration. We've already caught 5 fish and we have fished at 2 out of 3 different locations. There is also a little blueberry bush here that I'm kind of hoping sprouts before our needs get too low, just because I wouldn't mind another berry. Though from what I can see, nobody is making any food over here. And that's not good. That is not good. Hey, Mr. Rabbit, we're really hungry. Can we have one of your carrots? So we have finished the first aspiration milestone. So we need to fish for a total of 10 hours, mount or bowl 5 fish, and we've just achieved level 4 of the fishing skill. So for our first day in Henford, it's not been too bad, but you know we're starving. Other than that, like, we're starving. I just want to have another quick look for collectibles, and then I think we might have to just admit defeat for the day if we're not gonna get fed. So our hunger is really low and our energy is getting there as well. Nobody's made any food, so we're just gonna have to call it a day, and we are gonna have to sleep on this bench because we have nowhere else we can go. This is very risky because we are right in front of this house, so she's probably not going to get a good night's sleep because we are going to have to sort of mosey on before people start milling about in the morning. I also want to take this opportunity to show you my calendar. So, wow, we're not being a celebrity. But I have started, since I play with a long lifespan, I have started doing 2-week seasons. So if you have any ideas for holidays that you'd like to see in, let me know, because I definitely need some more for summer. I've got a couple in fall, a couple in winter, and a couple in spring, but my summer is pretty empty. So any holiday suggestions, leave them down below because I would love to hear them. But I do think on this note, we are gonna leave it here. Poor Luna is not having a good time of things, but what can you do? So let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know what you think about the challenge so far. I'm sorry this part doesn't really have a lot going on, but I was sort of setting the scene for the first half of it. Also, let me know what you think about the sort of machinima style clips I did at the start of this episode. I want to try and weave more storytelling like that in through the Let's Play rather than just have pure gameplay. So my first one was a bit choppy, but let me know what you think because I'd like to start doing that more, but if it's not something you're into, then I won't. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Any comments or suggestions, leave them down below. If you liked the video, please be sure to give it a like so YouTube knows that. And I will see you all in the very next part. Thanks for watching. Bye!